Good morning, Uganda. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV. It's time for the agenda. My name is Julie F. Nantaba, and this morning we are looking at the road to the 2026 general elections, and in particular, voter education sensitization, the voter education sensitization process, 0709602592. It's the WhatsApp number that you should save and engage and be part of this conversation. This election season, 2025-26, voters expected to cast their ballots, that is the registered voters that, as by the Electoral Commission, are 18,103,603 voters from 34,684 polling stations. And in 2021, 10,744,319 voters were able to cast their votes. Now, we are going to look at what exactly voter education is, what it's like, why it's supposed to take place, who is supposed to vote and who's not supposed to vote, and every other question therein that is lingering on your mind. So 0709602592. Now in studio with me to have this conversation, Waswa Kabuye Fazil, who is the Managing Director of 3N Consultants, alongside Mugweri Joffre, who is a consultant as well as Public Relations Officer of 3N Consultants. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Mugweri Joffre.
Good morning, Juliet, and the viewers. Thank you so much for hosting us.
Right. Good morning, Waswa.
Good morning, viewers. And thank you, Juliet, for hosting us here.
A pleasure having the both of you on set to talk about this very pertinent issue. And for context and understanding, I will start with you, Waswa. Does voter education make sense without civic education?
Thank you, Madam Juliet. Yes, to the viewers and the audience outside, voters' education is so important to the voters. Basically, if we don't exercise this campaign, the voters cannot know their rights, and the voters cannot understand where to vote, where to cast their votes, and also other details.
Right.
Yeah.
Very profound in that, but also one would want to understand, and I think this is where I should have started.
Yeah.
From, we are having this conversation with 3N Consultants.
Exactly.
One would wonder, why is 3N Consultants the one speaking into this particular matter, and who is 3N Consultants?
Thank you so much, Madam Judy. 3N Consultants has been accredited by the Electoral Commission, has been given a mandate to conduct voters' education in allowing for 3 regions. Basically, we have Uganda region, which has almost 26 districts. And also we have Bunyoro, which has almost 9 districts. And also we have region Forteso, also has almost 11 districts. In number of the districts we have also covered, so far we have identified ourselves in those areas. And we have submitted the authorities, we have submitted the district returning administrators, and also to the authorities or the statutory organs. And also we have made some of the stakeholders of those areas. Whereby now, we are emphasis now, so long as we have, I want to congratulate also the MPs and also the presidential. The presidential, we have already went to do the nomination of the campaigns, and now also we are under now the MPs and the local councils, which now they are starting on 10th. And we have shared our programs with the EC, together with also the authorities. Other people are coming, and other leaders are coming. That's why we are being conducted this work.
Right.
Yeah.
And let me come to you, Mr. Mugweri Joffre. Do share what the voter education process looks like.
Thank you, Juliet, and the viewers. Maybe to take you a little bit back on the background on why we could be here, you will be realizing that Electoral Commission is mandated under Article 61, subsection 1G of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda to formulate and implement voter education programs relating to elections. The Electoral Commission, furthermore, is mandated by Section 12, subsection 1I of the Electoral Commission Act, Cap 176, to accredit any non-partisan individual, group, or individuals, or an institution to carry out voter education subject to the guidelines by the Electoral Commission. These guidelines normally apply to accredited voter education providers during all election-related activities in Uganda, and they are provided for under the law. It is upon that background that 3N was accredited by Electoral Commission to conduct voter civic education. I want us to agree, Juliet and the viewers, that it is very important and critical to have a well-enlightened society. If we are going to this education, we are going through the election process, the voters must be aware, they must know the value and the importance of voting. They must know how to exercise their rights. They must be educated. It is the program, it's the campaign we are undertaking as 3N consultants, having been accredited by the Electoral Commission.
Kindly allow me chip in there when you indeed talk about the fact that you are responsible for helping the electorate get this voter education. And you did use the word civic in there. Does it mean that along the way, before we even got to 2025, there was a program where civic education platforms were being exercised and encouraged, so that by the time voter education comes through, the electorate, the masses are already aware, they are enlightened, they are, for lack of a better word, let me use the word woke, as to what should take place and how they should make their choices objectively?
Just like I told you, Juliet, elections are not an event, it's a process. Electoral Commission is fully mandated to undertake through all these processes. The processes start right from registering the voters who are eligible to vote. I think by the Ugandan laws, you must be aware that once somebody makes 18 years, he or she is now eligible to be a voter. And it starts from mobilizing citizens to go and register into the national register so that he can be eligible for voting. The Electoral Commission has got a very long process which it undertakes to enlighten, to educate, to bring that civil awareness to the Ugandans so that they may appreciate the value and importance of voters. It is through that whole process that at this stage we come in to educate the voters on how to vote, the importance of voting, the importance of their vote, the value, the power of their vote.
Right.
I think that is now where we chip in because we are accredited. Like my managing director has said, 3N consultants got an opportunity to be accredited to conduct voter education in 3 regions, in Uganda, Bunyoro, and Teso sub-regions. We have already started on the process. We have gone to the field, we have identified the requirements, the needs of voter education in those regions, and we are on the process of handling that exercise.
And given what you've so far seen in the field, how would you describe the current state of voter education?
The experience we have gotten from the field indicates that voter education is still a little bit at a minimal level. It is necessary for the stakeholders to implement and put in more efforts to have the voters fully appreciate the whole process of voting. For example, there are many instances where we interface with the people who have not yet appreciated, who do not take voting as a very serious exercise, and it is upon our responsibility to educate these people on the value of their vote. The Constitution of the Republic of Uganda clearly stipulates on how we do change our leaders, how we choose our leaders. It is through voting. Therefore, if we have a society, if we have a certain section of people in the society who have not yet fully appreciated that it is through voting that you'll be determining your leader, it is through voting that you'll be determining how you are going to be governed, it is through voting that you have to organize your society. How are we going to benefit as citizens if we do not vote? This is the opportunity we have gotten to take our rightful decisions on how we can choose our leaders who will steer our country in the forthcoming 5 years.
Right, thank you very much. It's the road to 2026, the general elections 2026, and as you can look at your screen, the examples and the reasons as to why you should vote, but also how you eventually arrive at the decision of choosing who you are choosing to vote. Attend candidates' campaign rallies so as to make informed decisions. That is very, very key. And on that note, let me come to you, Waswa Kabuye. Who are we supposed to vote for?
Thank you, Madam Judy, for that question. It's the choice of the candidate. Because, for example, you cannot say that me, I'm going to vote X or Y or Z. It is a separate vote, depending on the convincing terms of the candidate, how the candidate has convinced you. And the candidate, this candidate who has been convinced me to do it, to give her a vote, is he a real candidate who will give her the services to us? I think about that question, I can say that.
Right.
Yeah.
Indeed, it's about the candidate.
Yeah.
And 0709602592, if you have a question, please do engage. We're having a conversation with 3N Consultants, and it's a consultancy agency that has been accredited by the Electoral Commission to carry on voter education in Uganda, especially in this season, as we look forward to the polls 2026 come next year. Now, let me come to you, Mugweri Geoffrey. In your view, compared to 2021, at about this time in 2021, are we better prepared, do you think?
Well, thank you, Juliet, for that question. Viewers and my colleagues in the studio, you must be aware that in the previous elections, that was 2021, we had a quite unique election. We had a pandemic, that was COVID-19. It stifled, it affected the normal process of elections. Remember, we had restrictions, we had guidelines because we had a pandemic and the elections were not so that very free. We were avoiding crowds. In 2025, 2026, this is a different situation. I want to believe that this has given us an opportunity to appreciate and interact with the different stakeholders in the process of elections. The candidates, the various candidates have got an opportunity to look out and reach out to their possible voters, to explain their plans, which is not the case, which wasn't the case in 2021. I want to believe that even the nature of the preparations for these elections is quite enhanced, it's quite better compared to 2021, because 2021 had a lot of restrictions. This time, the processes are ongoing as programmed. There is nothing much which is stifling the process. I think, in my opinion, we are likely to have a quite better and organized election because there is nothing like a pandemic which we experienced last time. Right.
Coming to you, Mr. Waiswa, it's the campaign season indeed. Presidential candidates are already campaigning.
Exactly.
MPs are starting today to campaign. Are there any particular campaign methods that 3N Consultants is advocating for as by the law of Uganda?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Julia and viewers. Yes, 3N Consultants advocate for not conduct bad campaign with the bad words, with bad comments to each other. And another thing also...
Just for purposes of clarity
Yes.
and elaboration, if you say the word bad campaigns,
Yes.
what does that look like? Bad words or bad comments, what does that look like?
Basically, you know, you can find some candidates exchange words which are not so good in campaign. And also to avoid the violence.
Yes, clashes.
Crashes into, because the crashes comes into after the candidate Y has mentioned bad words to each other. That's why 3N advocate for peaceful campaigns. Yeah.
Very well indeed. Now let me come to you, Geoffrey. What are some of the biggest misconceptions that you've taken note of in the midst of the masses when it comes to voter education?
Well, I thank you for that concern. I want to expound on what my colleague was discussing here. First of all, it is our responsibility as citizens, as patriotic Ugandans. We should all advocate for a peaceful, free and fair election process. Like I say this time, unlike 2021, we have got an opportunity to interact with the voters. And the elections, it's about marketing your strategy, it's about explaining your manifesto, explaining what you intend to do to the voters, for the voters. I want to implore all the stakeholders in this process to appreciate that elections is not war. Elections should be undertaken strictly following the guidelines that's stipulated by the Electoral Commission laws and the laws of Uganda. What we have so far realized, I want to implore and appreciate the stakeholders, especially the candidates so far, at the level of the presidential elections. I think after nominations and when they started the campaigns, so far we have not realized, we have not we have not had many clashes. I want to think that possibly we are going to have a peaceful election this time. The voters are anxiously waiting for the message from the candidates. It is through the messages, it is through the manifestos, it is through what the candidates are presenting that will make the basis upon which the various voters will either choose candidate A or candidate B. I want to think and I want to appreciate Ugandans. I also want to implore all Ugandans who are registered voters that let us go through this process peacefully. Let us give an opportunity to the candidates to explain what they intend to do for us. The vote is ours. It is our right to take informed decisions. We are going to take decisions which are going to impact on us in the next 5 years. I want to appreciate all the stakeholders in the electoral process. This is the security agencies, the candidates, the voters, the whole community. I think so far so good at the level of the presidential elections. Now, when we come to the members of parliament and other local government candidates who are aspiring for the various positions, I think most of them are starting their campaigns today. I want to take this opportunity to call upon all of them to have this process peaceful so that we get the right decisions.
All right. Indeed, as you've seen the message, let's spread love. Now, in my hands is the Voter Education Handbook. And just to give a bit of a summary or as to what the process looks like, we start off with representation of the people is the first chapter, then demarcation of electoral areas. This is now what the process looks like. Reorganization of polling stations, and thereafter we go to the update of the National Voters Register, and then the display of National Voters Register, and then the nomination of candidates, which indeed you all remember well, and then campaigns. At this particular point in time, through our road journey to the 2026 general elections, we are at the stage of the campaigns. It would be nice for you to share your experience from the start when it was about demarcating the different electoral areas. It would be nice for you to share your experience and we speak into it with the experts in studio, 0709-602-592. But after the campaigns, and that will be next year, 2026, we will be in the polling process. Now, I will come to you, Mr. Waswa, for you to just elaborate more, paint a picture, sensitize on what the polling process looks like. And this is for purposes of information, such that one who's casting their ballot next year does not find themselves in certain mistakes. But I also know that closing into the days, we'll have you back to elaborate more on that. But at least let the conversation start now. What does the polling process look like?
Thank you, Madam Judy, and the viewers. By the time to start with the polling station, polling process, basically we need to first understand that the voters has a voter's slip, has a national ID. If a voter doesn't have a national ID but is being registered with the Electoral Commission, is entitled to do what? To vote. Then another,
so just to emphasize that many face problems
on polling days
without national IDs.
Exactly.
So as long as one has their voter slip,
exactly,
they were registered.
Yeah.
But perhaps life happened and they lost their national IDs.
Exactly.
They still have a right to cast their vote.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
That has been noted. So please move ahead as we look at into the polling process.
Then on polling process also, we conduct, as any consultant, we mobilize and we engage the stakeholders who are the voters to engage the polling day, which almost going to start around by 7 and close by 4 p.m. And the voters also, we are also advocating to show their colors of their supporters on that day. Yes.
They should come neutral.
They must be neutral.
In neutral clothing.
Neutral clothing. Neutral wearing, and no more campaign on it.
Right.
Yes.
Let me engage a comment that is coming through. I love the program and we love our country. I have one question for the team. I have noted that West Nile, I have not had West Nile regions being mentioned in amongst the regions that have this exercise is taking place. Who is responsible in educating voters in West Nile? I'll still pose that to you, Mr. Waswa.
Thank you, the viewers who has just sent a message, and the Madam Jury to mention about that. It is a mandate for EC. Being the EC now, they have already created some organization basically on financing methods, whereby other organizations are being not given a mandate to do that. Unfortunately, we have been in touch with our colleague with the Commission. I think time has caught him, but that question belongs to him to be answered that question.
Right. Yeah. We look forward to having the Electoral Commission in studio, and of course with 3N consultants to have a more elaborated conversation. Now, coming to you, Mr. Mugweri, are there examples of successful voter education campaigns from the past that we can learn from for this year's election exercise?
Thank you, Juliet. You must be aware that this is not the first time Uganda is going to polls. We have had various elections for so many years. It is normally after 5 years that we have got this opportunity of choosing our leaders. We have previously held elections as a country, and I think all those election processes have been a success. I want to call upon all Ugandans to take this exercise with a lot of seriousness, attach a lot of value and importance to it. Like I said earlier, that it is through elections that we choose our leaders. We have chosen our leaders before, and we have had all what it takes to organize elections. I want to believe that even this time, just like the previous elections, we are going through the whole process very successfully, and by January 15th, we shall be voting for the president and members of parliament. Then thereafter, we shall be voting for the local government leaders.
All right. Salim comes through and says, "Good morning, team. This is a superb presentation. Kindly use this opportunity to enlighten the non-English speaking population, which is glued to our lovely station right now. This is a very sensitive issue, please." I'll still stay with you, Geoffrey, in regards to addressing the non-English speaking population. I wonder how exactly, Salim, you'd expect the address, but however, whichever way it's interpreting to you, please go ahead.
It is quite a relative kind of concern. Remember, we have got different languages in Uganda. I think even on UBC television, you have got several programs with different languages.
Right.
For this particular program, it is a program conducted in the English language. I don't know what Salim exactly wants, because we have got programs in Uganda, we have got programs in Kiswahili, we have got programs in so many other Lunyankolo, Lunyakitara. I think for this particular program, it is an English program. I will be maybe guided on how I can help Salim.
Right.
To
is
appreciate
there
this
a
program.
chance that there is information by 3N consultants on the internet with interpreted language for non-English speakers?
Well, I think let me be very clear on this. Like we told you that Electoral Commission gave us the mandate, accredited us at 3N, to conduct education, voter education in 3 regions. As 3N consultants, what we have done, we have identified the commonly spoken languages in those regions. For example, here in the Uganda region, where we have the mandate to educate the voters, we have organized various messages in Uganda. We also have many programs in Uganda because we are conducting the exercise in this region. When it comes to Bunyoro, we have equally organized, and we are still organizing various programs in Runyoro, whereby the people who may not understand English can fully appreciate and understand our message. When we go to Teso sub-region, we equally have the same. It is only within those regions where we were accredited that we can now take care of the concerns. Now at a national level, like here, we are on a national broadcaster, we are using English. Implying that not only people in the regions where we are accredited for can benefit, but the whole of Ugandans who can appreciate English. Likewise, I will still pray that maybe we shall get an opportunity in future, and we conduct this program in Uganda on a national broadcaster like now, so that various people can appreciate and understand what we are talking about and why we are emphasizing for voters to be enlightened, what they should know. I think that is what I can talk about that.
Right. Someone else comes through, and still pause to you, but it's the final one as you take your rest there. Secondly, they ask voter education. All right. Their question was in regards to voter education being carried out 2 weeks to polling days. Why is it done like that? Well,
it is not 2 weeks towards elections. Like I said, the elections is a process, not an event. This is not the beginning. The exercise started a long time ago. But I also want to emphasize one thing, that as service providers, as companies, organizations, and individuals who were accredited by Electoral Commission, you can only start business of conducting voter education after getting accreditation from the Electoral Commission.
Right.
For various reasons. Like, for example, our case, I think we were accredited, was it in July?
Yeah.
July, late July. That is when we started the process. Not that, I don't want viewers to think that actually we are simply starting on the process. Like I told you, Juliet, we have been in the field, and we are still in the field. We started on the process. We went and did an inception program. We have hit the ground. We have interacted with the various stakeholders in the regions where we have the mandate. So the process has been on and is ongoing until it will even go on past elections. Even when we finish elections, there is what we call post-elections education.
Right.
We need to appreciate how do we react, how do you respond to whatever has come we should maintain the calmness. We should still appreciate that we are Ugandans. Elections will come and will go, and we shall remain as Ugandans. I think our major mandate as Ugandans is to have a peaceful country.
Right.
Thank you.
Now, coming to you, Mr. Waswa, let's talk about voting. When we are casting our ballots, how exactly are we supposed to vote? Because I understand on the day people are casting their ballots. Yes. There's a lot that also goes on where someone might either tick on the side or tick their favorites because they have more than one, or probably if they are using their print, they'll print all spaces. So take us through the example of how one is supposed to vote.
Thank you, Madam Julia and Madam the viewers. Through the process is too big, but with I don't know whether the time can cut us, but the beginning they will say that we start with the national ID, with the voter slips, and also identify, because the EC also has already introduced the system of identifying the voters, because you may be having a national ID and you don't appear on the machine. Yes. Also, I want also to give a clarification on the public, because they have been saying that EC has brought the machine because all the voters, we are going to use the thumbs, we are going to use this. To the public and the viewers this side, and Madam Judy, I need to inform the public that EC has brought the machines basically on identifying of the voters who are going to appear on the voters register, and also the people who are already registered in their areas. That's the system, that's the area, that's the concern which I wanted to also raise. Then apart from the other question you have been raised to me, that who are the right voters? The voters, basically, if you've been given a vote paper, basically you tick into the box where if there is your candidate, if it's X or Y or Z, you tick into that candidate of the box. If you don't want to tick, you can use a thumb, but you need to make sure that that thumb does not enter into another line. And also another thing, we are also giving awareness to the public and also the voters that if you need to be given at least 5 minutes to cast your vote. If you are, for example, you are a blind person, for example, you are own person, we are in touch with the returning officers or the supervisors of that particular polling stations. We are telling them that we are giving them at least, if there's an old person, you need to give time. If the law gives him 5 minutes, at least give him an extra of 1 minute or 2 minutes to make it 6 or 7, so that voters can also cast his vote rightly. And also to encourage, to emphasize with the voters, if you are putting into the thumb with the ink, leave that voter's slip to dry. If it can dry, you can turn it properly, and then you go and cast it in the box. Yeah.
Now, somebody comes through, and this is to you, Mr. Mugweri. They say, this is Novo Seguja from Bulisa, who says, I disagree with Mr. Mugweri on his comments that so far the election season is going on well on all sides. We saw locals in Sangachiruhura district holding sticks and chasing a presidential candidate who was scheduled for the rally in that place that day. We saw security undressing ladies in Barara. Ask 3N consultants, when was the final voter register displayed? These are two concerns. One, disagreeing with your statement that so far the election season process is peaceful, and the other question is when the final voter register was displayed. Over to you, Mr. Mugwe.
Thank you so much, Novo. Is it from Bunyoro? From Bulisa, yeah. Well, I want to appreciate Mr. Seguja's concern about what we saw on social media, what happened in Kiruhura. I think it was about there were some clashes. That was one of the presidential candidates was in Kiruhura, and I think there were clashes. That is also, I think, came across it on the social media. But I want to tell my brother Seguja one thing that I have said so far so good, and I want to maintain that statement. And maybe let me expound a bit. It must be an isolated incident, which I don't want to think that can now tell us that the whole process is mad with clashes. I think that was an isolated incident. It has been more than a month when the presidential candidates started mobilizing and campaigning. It was a very unfortunate incident, but I want to believe that security and the people who are concerned must be investigating what happened. But on average, we have seen presidential candidates moving all around. It was until they went to Kiruhura that we witnessed that incident. Right. I am not privy to what happened exactly. It was something which was seen on social media, and I don't want to base on that to paint a picture that actually campaigns are not going on very well. I know the people who are concerned must be investigating, and they will come up with a report, and they will take action. And I want to implore whoever is concerned, the security, the electoral commission, to fully investigate what happened in Kiruhura, because it's not good for elections. But on average, I want to appreciate what is being conducted by the candidates. Indeed. And when was the final voter register displayed? That's also another question coming in. Like we talked about our mandate. We do work, and we are partnering with the Electoral Commission on this particular exercise of voter education. The role and responsibility of displaying the national register is fully conducted by the Electoral Commission. Right. What I know, the process was conducted, the register was updated, new voters came onto the register, and the process was successfully done. All right. We are now in different stages of the elections. Indeed, and we're at the campaigning season right now. Coming to you, Mr. Waiswa, someone says, thank you for the program. Please kindly give the election dates from start to finish. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, the viewers and Madam Jury. Briefly, I can give some of the dates, because EC has already delivered or given the updates of the dates of the voters. Basically, on that question, I can say that on 15th January, that's going to be presidential and parliament. Then on 22nd January, that's going to be district chairpersons, division mayors, and division and councillors, and other stakeholders who are already involved in the in the voters, on the elected voters, not the elected leaders on that. Yeah.
Right. Good morning, UBC. I'm Festo Nebi District, Uganda. I would like to know how the voter education are going to be shared, since most Ugandans do not have smartphones and televisions. Also, good morning, UBC. I'm Festo from Nebi. How would you be able to serve somebody who is unable to see and write? This comes to you, Mr. Mugweri.
Thank you, Festo from Nebi, for that concern. Voter education is a process. Like what we are doing now is part of voter education. We are using our mandate to talk to Ugandans, to tell them on the need of having peaceful elections. Now, specifically as 3 ed consultants, we have got a detailed program of conducting voter education in our areas where we are mandated, where we are accredited to do that work. Juliet, you will realize that we have got a fully approved program which has even been shared by Electoral Commission in the districts where we are going to conduct and where we are doing the work. We are going to do voter education, and we are actually doing voter education through various means. You do not need to have a smartphone to benefit from the education we are conducting. We are on the ground, our teams are on the ground. Those which have not yet reached, they are on the way coming. We are going to interact physically with the voters. We shall interact with them in all public places. We are going to take advantage of any public space we shall have. We shall go to churches, we shall go to markets, We shall go to local radio stations. We shall try as much as we can to interact with every voter so that that voter can appreciate and understand how the whole process should be, should appreciate the process, should appreciate the benefits, and should attach value. I want to use this opportunity to implore our voters that let us take this process very seriously. There are many people who do not want to go and vote. They sit in their homes on the voting day, and they don't see any value in voting. Then later on, they are not comfortable with the choices which were made. It is your opportunity. It is the opportunity you have gotten to go and take a decision. Go and vote. This is the message we are bringing. This is the message which we are carrying to the field. Like I emphasize that we have got a detailed program. When we go to Bukedea, this is just an example of the program we have. Like in Buteso sub-region, we have Bukedea, we have Katakwi, we have Kaviramaido, all the districts in Teso region. We have got a program of conducting voter education. So you do not need to have a smartphone to benefit from voter education. I hope I'm very clear on that.
Indeed, you are very clear. Yes, please.
Yeah, to add on my colleague on that, about that questions, I need also to inform him that our voters education starts from the village, parish, and sub-counties. Because if he's in the village X, or village AX or village B, at least according to the areas being mandated to us to do the voters education, I'm assuring him or her should see us in that area. Even to note on that, if you see us, our code of dress, it will be like this. And that person in that area must have a tag. This tag shows that it is a worker or a staff of 3N.
You could help change it?
Yes. Is a staff of 3N consultants, is a field officer of 3N consultants. We have people are going to be in the village level, on district levels, and also sub-county levels, and also parish levels.
All right.
That's how we are going to conduct our villages. And also we have other partners who have been together with us into this exercise. That's why you are seeing me wearing these reflectors, because you have EC with the mandate and 3N consultant who has been given it. And also we have other stakeholders who are also interested into this exercise, who has been given, not given a chance to conduct this voters education. Also, we encourage the public, don't sit and comment and say EC has done this, EC has bought ABCD. Come to 3N consultants and enter into with us and work together, because this is a show cause of the state, show cause of the voters, to give the awareness of the what? Of the voters.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I will take those as your parting shots. Yeah. It's been an honor to have you come educate Ugandans or engage Ugandans on voter education. And indeed, looking forward to having another conversation on voter education, because the masses have to be sensitized on how to do this, how to embrace this, because voting is your right and it's your voice for God and my country. Up next is JMU Sports. Good morning.
Live from UPC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium